Hello, I'd like to demonstrate a new tool we have along with the Divi Supreme Pro modules. One of the module options is called Divi Supreme Breadcrumbs. And what Breadcrumbs is a navigation aid for your website. So if you have a complicated website with many layers of organized pages that are organized in a hierarchical manner, you can create a web map that appears at the top of each of your web pages that you choose to put this breadcrumbs on to show where in the navigation this item exists. So the page example that we're looking at for the WVLS page is a committee called the WVLS ILS Evaluation Committee. It is actually located underneath Services and VCAT Consortium. And if I were to open that up, you would see that here, and then you have your VCAT committees for WVLS, and you click on that, and then you get to all the VCAT committees, and then you get over to the into the nomination committee, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So on the back end, I already have all of these VCAT committees organized in our pages because we have a large number of them, and they are organized with parent pages. So this is a necessary step that you would have to take prior in order for this to really work on your website, is that you need to assign parent pages. So example, if I were to open up this VCAT agendas and materials, what I had already done in here, kind of quite a while ago in fact, is I had assigned under the page attributes that there is a VCAT consortium as the parent, and this one is order 0. It is the first one to appear. If I look at the VCAT agendas and materials archive, and I open that in a new tab, you will see that the parent for that one is the one we were previously looking at, VCAT agendas and materials. And you can see VCAT consortium, VCAT agendas and materials. And then this one is the first one, so it marks as 0, not number 1, but as 0. And it will default to tell you that. It's going to default to an alphabetical order. But if you want to order them in your own way, then you would start with 0 and you would move on to 1 after that. So the next one, you notice these little 3 lines. This is the hierarchy. So there's the parent is got, it's actually, this is actually underneath services. So this one is even not the first one in this one. It is, in fact, we could take a look at that. The VCAT consortium is underneath services, and it is order 8 underneath services. So you can have an entire hierarchy. And how this actually looks on the WVLS website, because another tool that we have is the site map, which you could add this one as well if you wanted to assist with navigation of a complicated website. But here you see we have them organized. There's services, and then VCAT consortium, and then VCAT agenda materials, and all of the subheadings underneath that, plus VCAT training guidelines resources. So what we're going to do with this tool is to make that a visual on the web page, that there's a mini sitemap at the top of the web page, and you can see where this falls underneath the navigation. The Divi Supreme Breadcrumbs tool is a module. I'm going to very briefly show you how you would add it from scratch, and then I'm going to show you, let's see, did I already have to bring up the right committee here? Okay, here we have our visual builder. I'm going to delete this duplicate section down here. I'm going to add a section. I'm just going to add a regular section, and I'm going to add a new module to this, and when I start typing, it will come up with the Divi Supreme Breadcrumbs. And right now this is pasting it down here. I've already created a bit or what's really nice is that it will automatically create the sitemap for you. So as soon as you've got all of the, as soon as you have the hierarchy created in your background, it just immediately creates this breadcrumbs. And then I'm going to move this up to the top because I want my breadcrumbs at the top. And you see, it just reads it and it creates it. You do not have to do anything to identify or to create the hierarchy on an individual page. You do have the option in here to edit the look of it. You can use a different home icon. You can search for a house and maybe you choose to use this one instead. You can create a custom separator, so maybe you want to use the arrows instead of the carrots. And so you can select an arrow for this. And then you can also create the items can be a different, can have a background color, item text color. You can change that. And then you can also come in here and your current item, you can create a completely different color for that. Again, remembering to use good contrast and good size. You can create this one to have a custom text size. Maybe you want this to be 20 so it really pops out and you can see it. So using good contrast, using good text size and good design, you can add this breadcrumbs. I have already created a breadcrumbs and I have done some other customizing on it to create a border and other items around it. You could actually put a border around this. So I've done that, and then I've created it as a global header. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and delete this section because I want to use the one that I've already customized for my web page. And I have done it as a global. I took it and I saved it to the library. And I'm going to click on the global breadcrumbs here that I've added from the library. And if you want a lesson in how to create a global, I will put that into some notes. And then I'm going to drag this up to the top. Notice this one also took away some of that extra padding, so it's not quite such a big space at the top. And I have my home services and nominating committee. Now, let's say that I decided that I actually want to change some of this, and I decided that I wanted my breadcrumbs to be a little bit smaller and my text a little bit bigger. If I wanted to change that even more, I can come into the current and I want my my text size on my current item. Just scroll down to text size, and I want this to be a 20 to make that even bigger and pop out. There is that larger text size. Actually, I think I'll make that 16 maybe. 18. Nope, not 8. There. Now we have that popping out a little bit more. You still have the series of breadcrumbs, and I've added the border and rounded and a little bit of a background to make it pop a little bit. But then this way, when you're on this page, you can see that the VCAT nominating committee falls under VCAT agendas and materials. Then what is nice, I'm going to go ahead and save this page. And exit Visual Builder. And we'll see this. If I am on this page and I want to navigate back to the page that it leads from, I can just click my way back in the series, and then I have my whole list of VCAT committees that are falling underneath the VCAT agenda and materials parent page. Again, quickly review. In order to make the breadcrumbs truly work on your website, you do need to come through and create a hierarchy on your page. And how you would do that is you would click on any page that you want to have in a hierarchy, and you assign it a parent page over under page attributes. Drop that down, and you'll see that the VCAT consortium falls underneath services, and then all of these pages fall underneath the VCAT consortium. So each one of these is assigned a parent, starting at 0 for the order, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 following for all of the items beyond that. And then you can create a global section with Supreme Breadcrumbs, or if you don't create a global, that is fine. It will, if you use all the default settings, that is fine. All you have to do is go in and add it to the top of your item. The nice thing about a global is if you make the customized change on one page, it will update all of the breadcrumbs to look the same. And then make sure you update your page when you make any of those changes. Add that, and your end result is a page that has this global breadcrumb module at the top and will assist in navigating a large and complicated website. This can enhance a sitemap. We can do another training on how to add a sitemap to your website. And this will, again, read that hierarchy list that you have already created on using your pages, assigning parent pages and child pages to your website. And that will create this sitemap. And then the breadcrumbs creates a visual at the top. Thank you for your time, and I hope you see this as a useful tool for a large and complicated website.